Sir, shall we wait for 2 minutes, sir?
Yeah, start பண்ணிடலாமா?
Sir, 35 participants are joined, sir. So that's
okay. எந்த டைம் வரைக்கும் நான் எடுக்கணும்?
Sir, 3:30, sir.
3 o'clock.
3:30, sir.
3:30,
sir. Half an hour. 3:30, sir.
3:30. Okay.
Yes, sir. Tamil Priya?
Yes, ma'am. Shall we start? Ma'am?
Wait for a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Tamil Priya, you can start now.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon and welcome back, participants. Today's third session is about stress management. Effective stress management gives you a range of tools to reset your alarm system. It can help your mind and body adapt resilience so you can be happier, healthier, and more productive. It's a matter of great pleasure and honor for me to welcome Dr. M.J. Raman sir, Principal of Vellalar College of Engineering and Technology, for this session. He has more than 30 years of academic experience. He has completed his BE in Mechanical Engineering from Coimbatore Institute of Technology, Coimbatore, and ME in Production Engineering from Government College of Technology, Coimbatore. He has also obtained his PhD in the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering from Anna University, Chennai. He has published 7 papers in peer-reviewed international journals and 5 papers in national journals. He has presented 35 papers both in national and international conferences. Further, he has received research grants from UGC and AICTE. Moreover, he has completed 3 projects sponsored by Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology under Students Project Scheme. Besides, he has organized 2 conferences and 4 seminars sponsored by CISR, AICTE, TNCST, and UGC. He is a member of Institution of Engineers and Indian Society for Technical Education. His areas of research include metals joining, metal casting, and rapid prototyping. He is a reviewer of various refereed international and national journals. 11 research scholars are currently pursuing PhD under his guidance. Today, it makes me feel ecstatic to have our most respected principal for this stress management system. With profound respect, I request you to take up the session, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, sir.
Most respected Secretary and Correspondent, Through S. Chandrasekhar sir. Respected Dean, Student Affairs, Professor J. Chandar. Controller of Examination, Dr. K.R. Valluvan. Head of the Department, IT Department, Dr. Manavala Sundaram. Coordinator of this ATAL FDP, Dr. Viveka. Faculty members, participants, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to address you on the stress management during the ATAL online FDP on KOTLIN, the next frontier in meta-programming, organized by the Department of Information and Technology, Vellalar College of Engineering Technology. As you are all aware of that, the stress management is one of the topic has to be included in all the ATAL online FDP. So you could see that the importance of the stress management. At the same time, the AICT and UGC and all the institutions, they are well aware that the faculty fraternity is in the more stress today. Why? What is the problem? Why we are always going for? How do you define a stress? Stress is a feeling of emotional and physical tension. It can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, anger, or nervous. The stress is your body reaction to a challenge or demand. This is the main thing. There is a challenge. If you are unable to meet that challenge, then automatically the stress created. The demand is more, but I am not supplying to that extent, then there is a stress. The changes are happening in this world, every nook and corner for every second and microsecond or millisecond. So everybody on this global to change themselves, accommodate for the changes around the environment. So that is why the stress is always there, not only in the human beings, wherever possible, there are stress. Due to the pandemic, you could see that the stress is on the global or the earth, because 200 years back, we are having only the 300 or 350 billion people, but now it crosses around 700 billion people. Then the earth thought that so many weight and so many excretion and I am unable to manage all those things. That is why I am creating some pandemic around this. So automatically there is a reduction of the human beings, and there is, so then and there, the nature will always correct themselves. So it is there. It is a nature. It is always there. It is a natural process. Whenever exceed a certain limit, it will correct themselves. So the first I'll touch upon with the change. Can you see my PowerPoint?
No, sir.
Now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's yes.
Okay. So I am Dr. M. Jayaraman, Professor of Mechanical Engineering, Principal, Vellala College of Engineering Technology. The change. So this word is very much important in this moment. The change. The changes are always permanent. Permanent change is impermanent. 500 BC, one philosopher, Heraclitus, who gave the philosophy, you cannot step into the same river twice. You cannot step into the same river twice. If you step into the river, then the river is the constant, but the water is flowing. So if you are making another step, you cannot be in the same position. There is a change. So that is why he gave there is a 500 BC itself a philosophy. The change is permanent. That is why the only constant in life is change. That is by Heraclitus, and the Gandhi also told that if you want to change the world, start with yourself. The change is the process by which the future inverts our life. I want to tell one more gentleman, Alvin Toffler, who wrote a book in the year 1970, August. He released a book in August. The title of the book is Future Shock. Why he gave that title? Because the changes are happening at a rapid pace, so one could not cope with those changes. Automatically they will be dethroned by the system, not by anybody else. If you are not changing yourself to this environment, automatically you will be dethroned. Then, so that is why he told that if you are coping the changes, if you are changing yourself to this environment, then it will be a very good life. If you are not changing yourself to the changes around happening, then automatically it is a shock. That's why he coined the word the future shock. So why? After the Second World War, if you see that, the science and technological development is at a rapid pace. The pace of the development during 1900 to or 1950 is equivalent to 1 week or 1 day now. You could see how much the science and technological development invades in all walks of life. Automatically, that put pressure on this. Today, I am learning something, and I think that it may be for next 5 years. But by the time I learn everything, and tomorrow or 1 week back, automatically the new technology comes and everything what I learned is obsolete. Then automatically anxious and the stress is on the person. So that is why the change always insisted in our human being. You would have come across the word homeostasis. Homeostasis, our body is having always the natural resistance, at the same time the balance. Any organism on the world will balance itself by the stability to around situation. That's why the human being can exist in 50 degrees centigrade at the same time minus 20 degrees, because the body will initially resist, then it will accommodate, it balance themselves. So that is why whenever the change comes, human beings always resist, because it is our own, we are having in our own blood. So that's why we will resist. Then by the time we will understood everything, then we will change ourselves. So the changes are more rapid rate. You cannot predict it. It may be in the straight line, or it may be so exponential growth, or whatever may be. You cannot predict. So that is why the stress is happening. 20 years back or 10 years back, the faculty fraternity, you know that at that time, the faculty members in the engineering college or any other higher education institutions, their job is only the teaching. They want to teach, and they want to train them in the practical classes, and they want to assess them and leave it. Then maintain the logbook and other things. But now, a faculty member should do the multitasking. He has to teach, he has to learn the latest technology. By the pandemic, he has to learn the online teaching and the methodology and the mode of things. Then he has to maintain all the records for NAC, NBA, then ranking, NIR of ranking. Then we have to do the research, we have to apply for the patent, we have to do the get the grants from the research institutions, and then we have to do the collaboration with the industries, and we have to organize seminars, workshops, and we have to attend. So many priorities now happening for a faculty member. So automatically now the admission also included in the faculty members. And so if you see that they are all the multitasking personality, I am appreciating the the faculty members of this era, because they are doing a wonderful work. Apart from all those work, they are very much improved in the teaching, learning process and assessment process and the other things. So now the young teachers are very much embracing the technology for this pandemic. They are doing enormous level for the satisfaction of the students. So that is possible because immediately we understand the difficulty, then we change ourselves, we learn a lot, then we are changing. That is why the learning is never-ending process. So Alvin Toffler once told that learn, unlearn and relearn. This is the mantra for this situation, because we have to learn whatever may be the things. Then new things come, then you have to unlearn whatever we learn, then you have to relearn the new technology or new things. So that is why the change is very much important. So who told that? The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So changes are permanent. We have to change ourselves. So the period at which changes is very rapid. That is why we are unable to cope with the changes. Automatically, the anxious happening, the stress is happening. That is why I told that stress is your body's reaction to a challenge or demand. The challenges are more. The unable to meet the challenge, automatically the stress created. The demand for on the heads of the faculty members in this is more, because apart from the teaching, he has to do the research and other activities. So automatically the pressure built up. So there are always happening, not only for the teaching fraternity, all walks of life, people are influenced or impacted by this kind of the science and technological development. No other go. 20 years back, a person may be using the bullock cart. Now everything is managed. Now he has to learn to drive the ace or whatever may be the mini dog. But now the procedure for getting the driving license is minimum age standard. He cannot, he could not eligible for that. So this is a change, how it impacted on the life of the people. So everything is always reliant. So no, I request the faculty members, whatever the changes come, then you have to observe, understand those things, then you have to improve your part and you have to change yourself to the requirements. You would have very much know about the Moore's law. It was given in 1980 by the scientist Moore. The number of transistors per square inch has doubled approximately every 18 months. That is, computing power double every 18 months. This is also the pressure, because 5 months back we are bought the new laptop or gadgets or mobiles and other things. But now immediately that changed. So it becomes the anxious for this. So daily new products are coming and new things are coming, new technology is coming. So we have to learn everything. That is not possible now, because we are living in the information ocean, because the internet giving everything. It may be the good or bad, everything, but only thing is the people should apply their mind and their own the rational behavior. They have to identify the good ones and leave out the bad ones. That create a lot of tension or the stress on the young generations and the school going students and everybody because of this. Then the next one is the generations. 5 generations working side by side in 2020. You could see that traditionals, those who born from 1900 to 1945, baby boomers, those who born by 1946 to 1964, Gen X, those born between 1965 to 76, then millennial or Gen Y, generation Y, born between 77 to 97. Now we are living in the generation Z, that is after 97. Now we are going to receive the generation Gen Next. So because so many generations are working together in your workplace or wherever you go, in the home or wherever possible, so automatically the individual generations are having their own characteristics. So the unique characteristics are there, because if you, for example, if you see that the baby boomers, they are only only saw the telephone by the age of 40 or 35. But now the child after the born, then she or he used to handle that mobile phone. So you could see that the character, there is a characteristic change. So that is why it creates a lot of things, because the generations are there. So we have to move with the people, unless otherwise you know very well about the relationship skill and skilled relationship management, it is very difficult. So these are all putting pressure, and the pressure create the stress on the people. So you could see that how it goes from generations. So now, today I am going to link or correlate the emotional intelligence with the stress. So we are all moving within a stressful conditions. It is very difficult. Without the stress, you cannot live in this world. If you want to cross a NH, then there are a lot of stress on you. If you want to learn something new, then there is a lot of stress. So without the stress, we cannot live. That is why the stresses are maybe the positive or negative. If you are taking the stresses as a positive, that will be very much useful for you. But if you take it as a negative, then it will harm your health and then mind and everything. It will not be useful. That is why recently the Daniel Goleman in 1995, who coined a word, emotional intelligence. We know about intelligent quotient IQ, but he gave a new paradigm on this, that is emotional quotient or UQ. So previously we thought that the successful of a person depends on the intelligence. But now it is not only the intelligence, but the persons should know about the emotional intelligence. If a person is emotionally intelligent person, then he can drive many things, he can face the challenges, and he can improve in their life. So that is why the emotional intelligence is very much important. So we know that we are come across with 6 types of basic emotions: happiness, sadness, fear, disgust, anger, and surprise. But from this, you could see that 20 emotions, different emotions are there, because the emotions are always play a vital role in our body, because the stress is also an emotional part. So what is the difference between emotional person and emotionally intelligent person? Emotional person will always display or with emotions. It may be the joy or the sad or whatever, may be crying, everything, the anger, everything. But at the same time, an emotionally intelligent person, one who identify and manage his or her own emotions and also others. So emotional intelligence is defined as identifying and managing their own emotions and others' emotions. So you know about better, you are understanding, identifying your emotions, and you are managing your emotions, but that is not enough. You have to manage others' emotions. Then only you have to move in this world, because the people are well connected now. So due to this well connection, we have to improve upon the emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is the capacity of recognizing our own feelings and those of others, for motivating ourselves, for managing emotions in ourselves as well as in other relationships, our relationships. EQ is critical to managing our behavior, moving smoothly through social situations and making critical choices in life. So if you are grooming or you are developing the emotional intelligence in your part, then automatically you can handle this stress very well. Whatever may be stress from the home or from the working environment or from the society, but it will not affect you much. So that is why one of the stress management technique is you have to improve on the emotional intelligence. The next question, whether the emotional intelligence is inborn, it is not at all. So we are acquiring everything, the knowledge, information, everything from our own life cycle. So the same way, you have to learn a lot from your own parents, elders, teachers, peer group, your students, from the society, the leaders on the emotional intelligence. That means you have to groom this emotional intelligence, not it is a inborn genius. So you have to improve upon. So develop the emotional intelligence slowly from learning from others, and you can improve upon, then automatically there will not be any problem on the stress. So Daniel Goleman, who gave the emotional intelligence in 1995. Prior to that, Peter Salovey in 1990, who coined this word, and he gave, there are 5 factors that is very much important for the emotional intelligence, or 5 components are there for the emotional intelligence. Otherwise, the 5 qualities. Otherwise, if a person is having these 5 skills, then automatically a person is an emotionally intelligent person. So the first component is self-awareness. So what do you mean by self-awareness? You have to knowing one's emotions. You have to know your own emotions. Where I am displaying my displeasure, anger, and venting my emotions and creating a lot of fuss and lot of misunderstanding with the senior, subordinate, or the students, or in the home, whoever may be. So you have to know about yourself. That is why one of the sage, Ramana Maharishi from Tiruvannamalai, who gave a philosophy, who am I? So you have to ask, why I was created? What is my existence? What should I do? All those things for this the world. So as a creator or the creation, I have to do something better for the improvement in the society. It may be the there is a micro level or the nano level, but it should be something. So that is why whatever you learn from this atmosphere or the learning from this world, but you have to give back. That is why the generation comes with the improved knowledge. So you should know in your emotions and recognition your feelings. It may be the negative emotions or positive emotions. So there are negative emotions, anger, jealous, or greed, or there is a sad, or envious, or all those things are creating the negative emotions. Then we are also having the positive emotions. So you have to identify your own emotions. When, where I am giving my emotions. Then what are the effect of these emotions? I would not do that, then I would be a better person, a better place. So you have to identify. That is why John Mayer told that being aware of both mood and even thought about the mood. At the same time, the ability to identify and name the emotions. While identifying your own emotions, you have to employ 2 things. It should be non-reactive and non-judgmental. You should not judge yourself, and you have to should not take it as a reactive things. So ability to identify and name the emotions will create the thing. Then you will see, so what are all the emotions and what are all the things I have to remove it, how to control everything. So it will be both the emotions, maybe the conscious and the non-conscious. Self-awareness. You should aware of yourself first. Aware of the emotions of yourself first. Then the second skill or the component of emotional intelligence is self-regulation, self-management. It is nothing but managing emotions. So I know these are all the emotions. I am delivering or displaying. Then I should avoid these negative emotions. I should improve the other things. So that is why the regulating your own emotions, managing your own emotions for the betterment of your life. So ability to emotions here, you while managing your emotions, don't suppress your emotions and don't numb the emotion, because it is not possible. Without the emotions, a person cannot exist in this world. If a person is like that, he reaches the sage and other things, because the emotions are always embedded or in our own things. As a human being, we are always emotional persons. We are always exhibiting our own joy and sad and everything. So you cannot suppress and you should not numb the emotions, but you have to manage the emotions in such a way that minimizing the effects. So Aristotle once told, appropriate emotion to the circumstance. Appropriate emotions to the circumstance. So this is the environment, this is the circumstance, this is the situation. Then I have to exhibit this kind of the emotion. So you have to manage your emotions further. Then next, diffuse challenging emotions. You identifying your own emotions. You know these are all the emotions always creating problem for you, not only your health and other relationship maintenance. Then automatically you have to diffuse it. So the managing emotions is the main component. The fundamental the component of the emotional intelligence is self-awareness. The second is, once you are aware of your own emotions, then you have to control it, or control or regulate it, or managing your own emotions. So this is the second. The third component of the emotional intelligence is self-motivation. Self-motivation is nothing but harnessing the power of your emotions. You are having a very good emotions, but you have to reap the benefit for your own betterment in the life. So the self-motivation is very much important. You could see that the high performance is always attained only you are having the self-motivated person with the enthusiasm and persistence. The zeal, enthusiasm, persistence will come only if you are having a high performer. So in this situation, you can harness this power. So that is why the self-motivation is very much important, harnessing the power of your emotions. Then one more demonstration I can show. Erkes-Dodson law. So once they found a maze where a rat is placed and surrounded by the electric shock. So slowly the intensity of electric shock has been improved or increased. So initially they could notice the rat is moving here and there to going out. But after certain level of intensity of the shock, the rat gets tired and keep quiet. So from this behavior, they found the Erkes-Dodson law, inverted U curve. It is nothing but inverted U curve. So here you can see that x-axis level of stress or the pressure, it may be whatever things. Then the y-axis is the performance. So they draw a curve, the level of stress versus the performance. We are telling that the stress is always a negative. It is not like that. We are achieving lot of targets in a stressful condition. Examination written by the students only in the stressful condition. We are doing lot of things in the arranging the functions and submitting the SAR, SSR for NAC or NBA or ISO manual, everything. So by the time due to the stress, we could achieve more. So that is why if you increase the stress at the optimum level, our performance will be always a maximum. That is why initially, if you are having a less level of stress, you will be very calm. There is an improvement that is not much. So if you are improving the stress level, energy is focused, work feels effortless, then that is why this stress is positive stress, that is called U stress. U stress is positive. At certain level of stress, every human being will achieve their performance. Definitely. You have to believe yourself, believe in your thing. So that is why the level of stress may be a certain level you can achieve. But beyond the certain level, you could see that there is a fatigue, exhaustion, health, breakdown, burnout. That is why beyond certain stress is called as a distress. So how do you know about your own curve? That depends on individual. It is a unique curve for individual performance. The top leaders may have a wide curve, then a lower level of unskilled or workers are maybe having a small curve. So depends on that. You have to. Only thing is you have to improve upon. So because if you improve the curve, automatically for the higher stress you will perform more. So you could see that some of the students, slow learners, you cannot pressurize them beyond certain level. But certain students, top level students, you can give a lot of problems, they will solve that because that depends on the person to person. So as a teaching fraternity, you must know about this curve, the level of stress with the performance. Believe yourself, at an optimum level of the stress, we can produce a lot of things. Automatically, if you want to publish a paper to get a degree, we will work day and night and we will publish the paper. So in a stressful condition, we will get a good performance. But we have to identify our own optimal level. Beyond that, if you pressurize and you give the stress, automatically there will be a problem. Even though you know the techniques for managing the stress, but you cannot achieve the things. So here you could see that the efficiency of the performance, the level of, it's a low. If it is a new difficult task, a low level of stress itself, you will reach the maximum optimum. At the same time, well-learned easy task, if you see that, so many stress if you give, then it will be more. So most task depends on the curve, then you have to identify the person and you have to give this. So we have to know our own inverted curve, X Dodson curve. Then only you know this is the optimum point for me. Beyond that, I should not go. This is optimum, then I can perform well. So this is called Dodson law in the self-motivation. The one more in the self-motivation, in 1908 or 1960 it seems, 1960 in US, they conducted one marshmallow test. You would have come across with this marshmallow test. Marshmallow is a confection of the sweets. So they chosen the 4-year-old boys and girls in a classroom. They went to the classroom and they gave one marshmallow to each boy and girl. Then they told that if you are not eating this marshmallow for next to 20 minutes, then we will give one more marshmallow. So some of the children, they ate immediately. So some of the children, they waited for 20 minutes, they received one more the marshmallow. Then after 14 years, from the SAT test, they found that those who got the 2 marshmallow, their average SAT score is 1252. At the same time, those who got 1 marshmallow immediately they ate. So their average SAT score is 1052. So here comes, they found that 20% of performance is better for those who waited for 20 minutes. So those who got the 2 marshmallow, they waited for some times because they control their impulse. So impulse control is better for those students. That is why their performance is very good. But others also good, but not up to the mark. So that is why the impulse control is very much important for us, because everywhere we will react because of this. That is not normally happening in the brain. If you see that frontal cortex always thinking process, in where we are having also the amygdala. So if you get emotion, then the frontal cortex won't work out. The automatically we will take the decision. That is why impulse behavior. You could see from the students or from your own kids in the society also. There are a lot of incidents for the impulse control. They will not manage, they will not control their impulse, that immediately they will react. That is why I used to tell that, don't react, respond. There will not be any problem. A husband, wife there, if you react, then there will be a problem. If you respond, there will not be any problem. A student respond the request from the teacher, then there will not be any problem. If suppose a teacher, there is a student is reacting to the teacher, then there will be a fuss. So that is why this kind of impulse behavior is always there, but we have to control that impulse. So that is why always, whenever you are in the emotions, you should not take any decision. You would come across one movie in Tamil. So they told that whether it is a joy or sad or it may be any emotions, you defer for 5 minutes. Then there will not be any problem, because that 5 minutes will create a lot of things. Because if you give some time, the thinking will be taking place in the frontal cortex, then automatically we will think that, oh, this is not good. So automatically we will control ourselves. So that is why the marshmallow test is very much important in the self-motivation. X dot's law also very much important. Then the fourth component of the emotional intelligence is empathy. So empathy is nothing but you have to identify and recognizing others' emotions. So we may come across a phrase, there is, you put yourself in someone's shoes. So put oneself in someone's shoes. Then only you know their problems. So we are having echelons, the principal or the HOD, then the professors, and then the teaching assistant professor, then the non-teaching staff members in a department. So the HOD should know about the feelings of the faculty members. The faculty members should also know the condition of the HOD. Suppose a principal is giving the order to the HOD, no other go, they have to do that. So for completing their work, they have to extract the work from the subordinates. So that is why it is a vice versa. You should not think always the top people will know the feelings of the bottom. It is not like that. The workers should know there is about the management also, because if they are giving more production in a company, then the management will give a good profit to the sharing to the workers. So it is a vice versa. So the empathize is very much important. Recently, I could see an interview of former tennis champions. There is Andrew Agassi and Steffi Graf. So they gave an interview. So they asked, so you are all legends in the tennis. So how will you mold your your children? But they told, we want mold them to they understand the empathy. So that is very much important, because they told that I don't want to produce or I don't want to make them as a tennis player, or because whatever they wish they can take and they can improve upon that. But only thing is, we want to give the teachings of empathy. So it is very much important because you should empathize. You should know about the feelings of others. Then only you can extract the work from them. That is very much important, the empathy. So if you employ this kind of things in your own home, there will not be any problem at all. If you are employing this in your classroom, outside the classroom or inside the classroom, there will not be any problem at all. So this is the fourth component. The fifth component is social skills, handling relationship. Already I told that always we are moving with the team. Prior to that, there are scattered one. Individually they work, but now if you take any college or any there is a companies or the software companies, so wherever you go, you have to work in a team. So no other go, you have to handle the relationship properly. If you don't have the proper social skills, you cannot be a leader. You cannot be a successful person. You cannot lead a company. You cannot lead a college. You cannot lead a department. You cannot lead a classroom, or you cannot lead a company or whatever may be organization. So you should know about the social skills, very much important. So if a person is having these 5 skills, or then they are called as emotional intelligent person. They can handle any situation. Their their improvement in their life also very good. They will be more successful. You could see that many things are happening. So I could say that in 2006, it seems 2006 or 2098, 2002 or 2006 World Cup final between Italy and France. One of the legends of the football, Zidane, who is the hero to get 98 World Cup for France. But something happened in the ground, and you may come across the headbutt of the Zidane. So suddenly he headbutt with one Italy player, then immediately he sent out. Due to that, France lost their chance of getting second World Cup. So he may be the legend, but that is the final match for him. He never played after that. So that is why you have to manage your emotions. The venting of emotions should not be in front of the students, in front of the family members, or in front of the management people or the superiors. So you have to avoid that, because the venting of our emotions will create a lot of stress, and we are unable to manage. So there will be a lot of stress in the relationship. That is why many places there are a lot of the strain in the relationship. So if you are a emotional intelligent person, definitely you can handle better emotions. So stress management, you can manage your stress for various techniques are there, the meditation, the walking, cycling, everything. But they are all telling all those things. But the friendly social network, reduce the noise, self-limitations, exercise, healthy diet, sleep habit, time management, meditation, this way will improve your stress point, and there will not be any problem at all. Beyond that, if you are an emotionally intelligent person, there will not be any problem at all. Whatever the stress comes, then you will observe, you will embrace those things, and you will convert it to a positive one, and it will be betterment of your life. So by this, I conclude the stress management. If you are having any queries, I am ready to answer.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Please wait.
Sir. Sir, any special methodology or process to overcome the stress? As you said, nowadays, most of the faculties who are working in private organizations or colleges,
Yes.
they are facing a lot of stress, which cannot be explained in simple words. Sir, do you have any methodology or process to make it as a cardboard rule to avoid this stress?
So already I told that if you want to be emotional intelligent person, there is no strict and fast rule. So individually, because everything is a learning process. So we have to learn from our own emotions and our own situations from other situations. So we have to slowly improve upon. So we have to groom it. We have to develop it. For the stress management also, we have to develop. That is why they used to tell that whatever happens, then leave it for 5 minutes. Then take a small the walking and take a long breath, then meditate. But they are all telling the techniques, but that is not useful because I am already in a stress. How can I meditate? It is very difficult, but slowly I have to improve upon. So there is no strict and fast rule, sir. There is no, it is depends on the individuals.
So you mean to say that we have to inculcate in such a way that the stress can be released
Yes, sir. Yes,
by
sir.
practicing
Definitely.
various options?
That is why the students are learning a lot from the faculty members. So we are not teaching only the fundamentals of the engineering discipline, but we are also teaching them what are
Exactly.
the good and
Exactly.
bad, everything.
Exactly.
So we will show all those things because that is why the students will react in certain things, but faculty member will quiet and we will always because as a
But sir,
principal, as a HOD, we are always
sir.
attitude correctors. We are correcting them.
You're right, sir. I do agree, sir. But as a observer, I would like to say, sir, whether the science and technology you mentioned that where in the latest generation, you have mentioned nearly 5 generations.
Yes, sir.
Based on the data for birth year. So I mean to say that, sir, whether the science and technology is a curse or boon to the youngsters of current generation,
Pardon, sir?
whether the science and technology is a boon or curse to youngsters?
So we cannot say that because due to the science and technology only, we overcome this pandemic,
Correct.
corona. So we cannot say that it is a curse.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Exactly.
the way in which we are observing, because
Utilizing it.
the science and technology giving a lot of things. The internet is positive, at the same time negative for this. You could see that lot of
Exactly,
things
sir.
are happening.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that is
Exactly,
why
sir. Exactly.
we have to inculcate the values, sir. Previously, we know this is the good or bad. We had a literature, everything. But now,
Vision is
in
there.
the internet era, we don't know which is good or bad because everybody is giving their opinions, which one is good or bad. So the youngsters are exposing to all other views. It is very difficult.
True, sir. True. Very true. Very true. Thank you, sir. Thanks for clearing
Thank
the
you.
doubts.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Any queries? Otherwise, you can share your views also. I am learning from, I can learn from you also. I used to tell that for the past 30 years, I learned a lot from my students. Because I may have the idea, but the students only making that as a product or the project and other things. So I am learning a lot from my students. I could say one example. There is in 2002, 2000, I went to one attend one there is a FTP on the 3D printing, or at that time it is a rapid prototyping, and I share the views to the students. The Yuvraj of second year BE at Kungu Engineering College in 2000, he came with one paper that is biomedical application of RPT. So, sir, I want to present in a symposium. Can you correct it? then I am surprising because I have attended the FDP, but I don't know how much aware of that this application of the biomedical in this rapid prototyping. But that is the point in which I got a 3 student project on that idea, and the same idea I presented 3 papers. So still I remember Yuvraj because he gave the point for me. So that is why, like that, we are learning a lot from the students many times. So at the same time, we are learning from our elders or the parents or the teachers, peer group. So you have to take back everything and you have to analyze and improve upon.
Hello, sir.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir Anjit.
Anjit Raja, sir.
Sir, it's a nice session, sir. Thank you very much, first of all. And my question is, sir, actually the students from the various stream for PG admission,
Yes, sir.
postgraduate degree admission. So somebody have some interest on the PG, somebody doesn't have interest, even though they are admitted. So how to redirect their views, sir, on their particular degree or something, sir?
Yes, sir. So normally, sir, we don't have much of the specialization in India, sir. If you take the foreign countries, they are choosing their own interest from the school itself, and they are going, they are joining the engineering. Immediately, they don't like it, then there is they go for next degree. But in India, it is not like that. So that is why all are coming to the same things, but the interest may be different. That also causes the problem. Yes, I do agree, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, and one more question is the political imbalancity and the impact on the students' communities. How we can rectify or counsel them, sir?
Sir, if you see that, we are always facing the challenges and problems, sir. Every era, if you see that, there are challenges. But we have to overcome. That is why I told that the student should, so we have to inculcate the values so that students should identify what are all the goods, the good one and bad ones. Then only they can eliminate. So that is why we are not very much important on the ethical behavior of the student. There is a professional ethics. The AICT has included one subject also.
Yes, sir. As you said, the ethics must be a part of the syllabus.
Yes, sir. And, sir, it should not be like a subject, sir. They
Yes,
have
sir.
to practice them. Unless
Yes.
otherwise practice, they can score 100 out of 100.
Correct.
But is it useful? No. Practically, they emulate themselves and observe all those things. In a certain situation, they have to exhibit their values. Then there will not be any problem.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir. Correct.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Any queries, sir?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sir, my name is Paras. I am from Gujarat, and
Okay.
I really like your session. I learned a lot.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, you are talking about professional ethics. I attended one FDP, which is sponsored by AICT,
Okay, sir.
Universal Human Values.
Yes,
And,
I also attended that human values.
so, as other faculties are also saying that the syllabus is talking about same, that how we can inculcate values, universal human values
Yes,
in
sir.
our engineering syllabus. I really remind all the things which I learned from the FDP during
Yes, sir.
your session, and I really feel great that this kind of session is in our technical FDP also. It's really nice.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Actually, sir, in this, I also attended that Universal Human Values. But the thing is, we are having the theories, how to convert it is a practical. Because the sir is asking,
Right.
we are talking something, but something is happening outside. How is a student to correlate all those things? That is
Right.
why the major difficulty, sir.
Right, right.
Because the even YouTube or the media, news media, newspaper, all are projecting the negative things in
Right.
more. So the student is always having a lot of junk information. So that is why create a lot of problems.
Right, right. One beautiful thing that they mentioned in the FDP, when I asked one question about how we can inculcate these values in student, they said that you have to be a demonstration.
Yes, sir,
The
definitely.
faculty should be a model. Uh, that is, in that manner only it can be possible to have impact.
Definitely it is possible. Slowly we have to teach them, sir. As a teacher, I should not leave this. I should tell always the values to the student 1,000 or 1 lakh times. Whether they are observing, we don't bother, because as a teacher, I am having the duty to tell the good ones, the values. The student can understand within a week, or after 1 year he may know all those things, or after leaving out the college he know very well. After 10 years when he became the faculty, then also he know very well. So that is why the faculty members, we should not leave out. We have to inculcate the values then and there in the classroom. The classroom teaching, inside the classroom, outside the classroom, we have to take it as a inspire the students in a lot of ways. So that is lacking in the young teachers. So that is why AICT is addressing this, because they are telling that 20% of the faculty members of all the institution should complete this universal human values. Then they have to teach them.
Right. Sir,
Thank you.
actually, I joined a little bit late, so I missed your introduction.
Anyway, they will upload the recording, sir. You can hear it.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir.
Sir, nowadays the students are attending the online classes.
Yes, sir.
Due to so much online classes, they are also facing some kind of stress. So
Yes.
how can we rectify these kind of stress, sir?
Sir,
So this is the pandemic, sir. We cannot say that, because in this pandemic, this new science and technology gave a new way. I used to tell that there is a paradigm shift in the teaching and learning. Hereafter, we thought that the student learn from the classroom teachers. But now everything is available in the website. There are a lot of online courses. So anybody, anywhere, anytime on this globe can learn anything. So that is a new mantra. So we have to appreciate. There may be some hiccups in the initially, but now the students are well versed, because now they are telling they are very comfortable in their place. You don't want to come to the college, so they are very well placed.
But the classes from teacher is not getting directly, so we can address their problems.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, I used to tell that, especially the engineering college, we are not teaching the fundamentals. We are teaching the values. We are teaching the leadership qualities. We are giving how to organize the conferences or symposiums, then how to participate in the NSS activity, NCC activity. So by interactive way, they are learning a lot in the classroom or outside the classroom, apart from the curriculum. So that is definitely lacking, sir. In this online education, you cannot bring all those things.
Yes, I belongs to a school, +1, +2 school. That's why. From
Yes, sir.
Kerala. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
sir, but most of the students, they have the option of muting the online classes.
Yes. Pardon, sir?
Most of the students, they have the option of muting the online classes. So obviously, they're away from the stress, as it is mentioned by the sir. They are using the technology at a little bit higher rate.
Yes, sir. So I used to tell the So nowadays, the teaching fraternity or the faculty member in the engineering college or higher education institution, they have to give you a new thing, sir. Because whatever you are telling in the textbook is already there. So you have to relate the contemporary issues, then the latest development from the journals, magazines, various books, or even through the websites. So everything you have to blend it and give it as a new thing. Then only the student will attract.
Correct, sir.
So
Correct.
if you are teaching whatever it is happening in the book, then they will not, there no need to sit in the classroom because it is available online. So everything is there. Because now every teacher is having the stress. One more thing I can explain. Because suppose I am teaching the stress management, the one more person from Harvard University, he is also teaching. One more person from IISc Bangalore, IIT Mumbai, or any other German, so wherever. So the same topic taught by various faculty members. So if you are not up to that mark, then the student will think that, so he is not giving a correct way. So why should I attend? I could listen his address like that. So immediately every faculty members are having the expectation for the global level. That is there.
Thank you, sir.
Because they are comparing even the accent and the English and the flow, everything. So that is why there are a lot of stress for the faculty member. They have to raise their level. No other way. Shall we conclude, sir?
Any questions?
Okay, thank you very much, the participants in this ATAL FDP. Once again, request, even though this is a pandemic situation, and also the teachers are having one more thing, whether we will have the job in the furthermore, because there is a paradigm shift. But we should not leave let our hope, because the students are learning many things by interactive way that can be given by the faculty member inside the classroom and outside the classroom. So definitely the faculty members of the engineering college are always having a very good regard. So only thing is we have to raise our level. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So on behalf of our department and my own behalf, I want to express my heartfelt thanks to our beloved principal, Dr. M. Jairaman sir, for his wonderful talk. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Participants' attendance link is posted in chat box, so kindly make use of it. So test timing is tomorrow, last session 1. Final test time is tomorrow.
Ma'am, I want to communicate one thing, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
As per the 5th date attendance is concerned, by the time we have not received the participant ID, so we have provided the ATAL FDP ID, whatever given for the program. So will it be considered as an absent, ma'am?
Sir, sir, I can't understand what you are saying. You are filling that ID which we gave
Actually,
to you.
After submission of the ATAL FDP ID. First day, correct.
Okay, sir. Sir, that is no problem, sir, because we thought that every participant knows their ID, but there is some technical issues in their side. They are not.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, whatever the application ID is there, that will be available for the first day.
Only the application ID is available. Correct. But in the second day onwards, you are make use of that KT.
Yeah, that starts with KT. That starts with KT.
Okay, sir. We will manage, sir. No problem.
Yeah, ma'am, because ATAL site is going to look into 3 things, ma'am. One is the 80% attendance, 60% in the test marks, and the third one is very, very important, the feedback which we are providing in the ATAL portal. And
Yes, sir.
fourth one is the attendance link that is being shared by the organizers. So these four things they're looking into that very strictly. That is why
Yes,
I'm
sir.
asking.
We cannot able to the coordinators site. We cannot able to post the daily attendance. They accept
Correct,
only
madam. Correct, correct,
cumulative
correct.
attendance. So
Correct,
that is
correct.
why.
Only last day only you are able to upload it. I know, ma'am. I
Yeah.
know.
So that is the problem. And suppose if you are facing any problem or any mocking attendance or any discrepancy in your attendance level, so kindly make a note of us through WhatsApp. Okay, we will
Sure,
alter
ma'am.
that,
Sure.
sir.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Ma'am, I want to confirm that the test timings for tomorrow is 2 p.m.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. After 2
Oh,
p.m. because of this
oh,
last session should be utilized for validatory and test
the link of the
feedback.
test will be shared on WhatsApp group.
No, sir. We not a plan like that because that is happens only through chat because of some I don't want to say that. So that we will shall share that test link only through our chat box, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Means we have to log in into the page tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Last session you should come. If there is any important work for you on that time,
Okay.
are you having any important work?
Ma'am, no, not as such. Actually, the problem is that, ma'am, we belong to Punjab area and we four teachers from the same school, we are attending the workshops.
Okay, sir.
The problem is with the long duration power cut which are prevailing in Punjab these days.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. If there is
And
any
the power cuts are very long, ma'am. But
okay, sir. Okay, sir. So I
yeah,
understand, sir. Suppose if you are
so
facing any problem like that,
we were a bit worried that in case the power goes fail and we'll be unable to appear for the test. So that is why I was just asking that the will you share the link on WhatsApp or you'll be sharing the link on this chat box?
okay, sir. Okay, sir. As of now, we are having no idea to post that test link in WhatsApp group, sir.
Okay, okay.
But sir, let us hope you have a power on tomorrow.
Yeah, hope for the best. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
Yes, sir. Otherwise, um, let us have some alternative idea on that time, sir. Not
Okay,
now. Okay, sir.
okay, okay,
Okay, sir. But
okay,
as of now, we have to post the test only through chat box.
okay. And there'll be some separate feedback form that we have to fill.
Yes, sir. We in our team we decide to have a feedback from your side, and you
Okay.
have to submit another feedback to that ATAL portal, sir.
At ATAL portal.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to submit two feedbacks, one for us and one for ATAL.
That feedback which we have to fill from ATAL will be activated tomorrow or we can fill it today also
Yes, sir. After completing your
after the
test,
course. After
yes,
the
sir. Yes,
course.
sir. After
All
the
right.
course, and after we have to upload that attendance and your test mark. Then only it will enable for you, sir. Or not. After completing your feedback, then only you can able to download your certificate. That too after 24 hours.
Okay. Thank you
After
so very much.
completing your feedback, you have to wait 24 hours to download your certificate.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me,
Participants,
excuse me, ma'am. This is
yes.
Dr. Ashish.
Assist.
What is the duration of the test, ma'am?
Sir, it is. I think it is so simple for you. So you
Acha.
can attend 1 hour or 1.5 hours, sir. The link will be open for 1 hour or more than 1.5 hours. So
Okay.
it is enough time to you to attend the test, sir.
Okay. And the syllabus topics are based on the topic you had taken over here
Yes,
during
sir.
the.
Yes, sir. Only this FTP. The questions are given by the experts, sir. We are not
Okay.
taking any questions. The questions are get from the experts.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And madam, please share the total PPTs also right from the first days because first day we have faced lots of problem related with that one.
Okay, sir. First day feedback is we already posted in our WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Second day, 2 sessions are posted, sir. From third session onwards, I will post, sir.
Fine. Fine. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
sir.
Madam, even same issue we also have because we have a Friday power cut. Generally, it goes from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh God, sir. Okay, sir. Let us have some other.
No issues, no issues.
Decision.
Just we are informing you. That's it. Nothing more.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. No problem.
Okay.
Yes, madam. We also have one problem that we have orientation of our subject we are taking this semester, and that orientation is also at the same time 3 to. So you please take care that you post the link at 2 o'clock sharp.
Ma'am, after the valedictory address, and we are having some formalities to finish every event, no? After that, only we can able to post that question, ma'am. So we
Okay.
need your feedbacks, and that should be recorded.
Okay. I think Manoj sir is also there in that orientation. Yes, sir. You are there, na?
Manoj,
Okay. Fine.
ma'am, no
Yeah.
problem, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Which subject?
DTSP,
Yeah,
sir.
ma'am, I am there in many different orientation.
Yeah.
Even
DTSP,
even
sir.
today also I was having one orientation from 11 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, let us, ma'am, don't worry. Let us have some alternative arrangements. Okay.
Sure,
Okay,
ma'am. Sure.
fine, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay,
Please
fine.
take care. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much.
Thank
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. So, participants, hope you fill your attendance. So, after complete your attendance, you can leave this meet. So, kindly post your attendance. Suppose if you are facing any problem, suppose that link is closed, if it is and all, please inform us through WhatsApp. Thank you, participants. Let us meet tomorrow. Okay, sir. We'll post the materials once again in our group.